Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we about to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go through. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
I'm back, y'all. 40 keys in the building.
Glad to have you back, bro. You missed a great show on Friday, my man. That was it was quite the experience. The co-host we had fill in for you was
pretty good.
It's quite knowledgeable.
He was pretty good.
However, I have a written statement that I've prepared that I need to do, and I wanted to wait until you got here to do it. So please bear with me, everybody. Here's my prepared statement. Dear ladies and gentlemen of the Post Podium Podcast family, I come to you today with a remorseful heart and careful concern for a statement that I made in a previous show that I have since learned is offensive and reprehensible. Terrell Bernard did not run a 5.0 40 time flat. And for that, I need to apologize to Keyshawn.
Yes. I was freaking out. Go ahead.
You definitely were freaking out. Also, I need to apologize to our co-host, who we will from now on refer to as the chair. And the reason being is that we did not actually receive permission from the chair to post or stream their likeness or their image on our stream without their permission. So I apologize. That is the end of my statement. No questions, please.
Play ball.
So what's up, bro? What you been up to,
man? Okay. So first and foremost, the weekend. I was told I need to mention this before I might get marked up. So the TTFA Pee Wee Bills, when I got to the game on Saturday, they were up 28-0. I think they only played 3 quarters because they mercy ruled the other team. It was to the point where, you know how they had the equipment manager, he was suited up.
Mm-hmm.
So the clock was over. They put 2 seconds back on the clock. They let him run in a touchdown. Now, I don't know what kind of Pee-wees you know, but I ain't never seen an alternate Pee-wee team allow you to score on them. So I don't think they were privy. The equipment manager, Pee-wee kid, got in there. Everybody was cheering. They hoisted him up in the air. He was like, I was like, what's happening?
Why?
I don't know. I don't know what the backstory is. I need to figure this out. I need the backstory to this. Because they just like, they jumping around. I'm like, what I miss?
It had to be somebody's mom complaining. It had to be. It had to be.
But this is the first time he wore. He dressed. So maybe he was hurt. I don't know. And you know, he was a water boy, but he had a little issue with the water bottles. He just couldn't get two of them to the field at the right time. It's okay.
So was this child?
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say student. Was this child impaired in any way?
I don't think so. If he is, I can't tell.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, it wasn't. He was a freshman TCFA, so I don't want to get marked up for that snafu. Went to UB game, of course, you know, and had to deal with watching the backup quarterback do absolutely nothing. Lost to UConn, and then Saturday night after getting Ken, yes, that's why I didn't do the show yesterday, because I had a little too much fun on Saturday night.
Oh,
and it went way too late, so I overslept. I missed the first half of the game.
What?
I missed the first half of the game. When I texted you, I just woke up. Not a second later did I text you. I just woke up.
But that was like basically the start of the
Halftime.
game.
No, halftime. I texted you almost 2:00.
Oh, you did? That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh. So I apologize to anybody. I'll have a written statement, but anybody that I didn't text or I didn't message or I didn't on the football side especially, that's why. Because I was catching up for the show today. So I had no time for error, no time for loss. So yeah, so after this show, we'll be good again.
All right, cool. Let's get to a few comments here. What's going on, Thomas? What's going on, Lynn? What's going on, Nate? Let me see. Thomas says he's back. Nate says, guess who's back? You were missed. You were definitely missed.
I was trying to get in the comments, so I just couldn't keep up because I was trying to do what work I was supposed to be doing. I'm like, the chair. Hey, chair, take it. Oh, he's a cute guy.
It's a cute guy. I mean, you're sitting in him, so you can tell him after the show.
I will tell him. We're getting married.
All right. Certified Genius says, what's up? I don't think I ever made it right at the beginning. Are they all negative yet?
Not yet. Stay around.
Coach, right. That's exactly what it was, but it needed to be done. So here was another thing and maybe you can answer this one.
Mm-hmm.
So Nate was saying that you reminded him of the dreadheads from
In Living Color.
Yeah.
Tree job, man. You only got tree job, you lazy bum.
Okay, that was it. Cool.
I was cracking up. The chair. I was having a ball. I was like, yeah, look at that chair. I'll be sitting there right now if it wasn't for this job.
How late did they keep you up?
Were you talking about on Saturday?
Work.
Oh, work. Friday wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Friday wasn't that bad. Thursday was a different story. Oh,
what? What'd I miss?
Okay.
It's a lot.
So people that know me know I work at the airport. Mm-hmm. That's no secret anymore. So a plane comes in. You know, it was late, 3 hours late. Cool, get it in. We gonna work it out, get it out. I meet the plane with the jet bridge, and I hear the ramper come upstairs. He goes on the plane. I said, what are you doing? He's like, can't get the bin open. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's stuck. Okay. I mean, it happens, whatever. So he's like, I'm gonna go downstairs and work on this thing. 5 minutes later, all the people were off. Still can't get the bin open. Why does that have to be the bin with 112 bags? 112 bags on this plane. Couldn't get them off. So nobody got their bags that night after being 3 hours late to Buffalo. So what was supposed to happen, they were going to drive a crew in to fix the plane,
mm-hmm.
open the door, and we were going to have everybody come get their bags at 6 a.m. My friend texts me. She's like, they're going to fly this plane back to Chicago to fix it. So they're going to fly the plane with all the bags that are supposed to be in Buffalo back to Chicago to fix the door. So that means that 6 o'clock promise that we made, no good. So we have about 60, 70 people that were bagless.
And they all had to stay at the...
No, the people got to leave, but they had no clothes. They had no whatever was in their bags.
What?
Yeah, they didn't have it. Never happened. I've never seen that before.
And they most of those people were probably Bills fans.
Yeah.
Coming to watch the game.
More than likely.
That's
More than likely.
crazy, bro.
Yeah. So things happen. Wow. We rectified it by the time I got back on Friday. But yeah, it was a sticky situation.
Tommy from Mafia Sports Report, what's going on? Spin, what up? Spin says, can Keys match the best show he ever done from last week?
I don't know. We're going to figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah, Spin said he enjoyed the show without me being on it. I was like, okay, hey, know. All right, Spin.
Tell us how you really
whatever
feel.
You got to do is what you got to do. Tommy, the preface was for you because I saw you text me, but I had no time to talk. I had to get my notes together, man. It was over with. Yeah. And I had to watch the game twice today.
Lynn says Dan Mitchell actually put me in timeout for comments on the live game show.
You soft.
Wow.
You can't take the heat, Lynn. What did you say? Tell us what you said.
Yeah, I want to know what you said, bro. Tell us what you said.
I gotta know.
Roll up says a little, but I understand. Nate says, what the flag on Keys 5-yard penalty, everyone but the center. Let me see. Alton, what up? ATL, what's going on?
Oh yeah, Lynn, yeah.
Kato.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Old Marino, all about cooking now. Yeah, I bet he is. But everybody knows the truth. That's the beautiful thing about YouTube, Spotify, Apple Listen, whatever it's called, Apple Music. You can't erase it. You can, but it's already been seen, already been heard, and somebody probably got a copy somewhere.
Already in the ethos.
So for you to say no, because next is going to be Deion Walker, because he hated Deion Walker before we drafted him. Hated that pick. He had nothing but bad to say about Deion. He said he was one of the worst defensive tackles he's seen.
Who, Dan Mitchell said that?
No, Joe Marino.
Oh, yeah.
He said Deion Walker is one of the worst defensive tackles. He said that would be a waste. He's not going. I'm like, okay.
Yep, we will definitely be getting to him today.
Oh yeah. I got some Deion Walker.
Okay.
I won't be talking about TJ Sanders today though. I can't do it.
Where are we at?
Spin, you know how we get. I know where you at.
Okay. Let's jump into the game. Let's jump into the game. And I wanna start with what stuck out to you. And then I'll get to like some question stuff after that.
Okay. So what stuck out to me about the game? Offense nondescript again. I mean, what do you expect? And this is what I said after the preseason. I said we don't need them to play. They'll be fine. Trust me, they'll be fine. And I the first thing I wrote in my notes for the game was Vandermark is awful. Now, mind you, I watched from the second half first. Going back and starting off with, I was like, wait a minute, that's Cam Jordan. Wait a minute. He's not bad. All right. This guy is he's a starting right tackle. Now, not over Spencer, unless Spencer's back that says, I'm done, but he's quality. I'm good when he's in the game. What else? Cook was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that boy was cooking. That boy was cooking. It's so silky smooth. It's like it's so effortless now. Like there's no wasted motions. It's just, did you see when he was trying to carry the rookie into the end zone?
Yeah.
I was like, pull up the bus.
That.
I said, you said he can't do it. Defensively, missed tackles. That's my thing. Missed tackles, and we missed a ton of them, 11 of them to be exact. But this is where I am with Joey Bosa. My friend texted me yesterday. He said, Key, that's your sack god right there. I'm like, dude, he has two. He has two. Relax. But I will say this. Joey Bosa is a welcome addition in the pass game.
Mm-hmm.
The run game, we got to figure that part out. We got to get him off the field when obvious run situations. I think that's what Hoyt's going to be for. So I think Hoyt is going to come in and they're going to probably spell each other. So we'll see how they figure that out. I didn't do it.
Yeah, it was definitely me. I think I clicked on this weather thing here. Yep.
Well, yeah. Spin, he did. He has four forced fumbles and three of them, maybe all four of them were on quarterbacks on passing down. So I mean, like I said, he's lights out in the passing situations, but run situations, he's playing a little aloof. He's not containing. He's missing tackles. He missed 3 yesterday. It's just not there, and that's fine. It's just not there.
Yeah, I agree with Thomas too. He says he's playing too many snaps.
73% yesterday, 49 snaps. Yep.
Yeah, and that to me for a guy that is he played most of the games last season, but his history in general, he doesn't play entire season. So if this is a guy that you're going to need for the playoffs, you got to start dialing him back now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you about this.
Exactly, Dave. That's what I'm getting at. Hoyt's not a sack machine, but he is great at stopping the run. So that's the marriage I like. I want to see them both together in tandem.
Yep. So I think the Bosa thing, everybody kind of agrees on that. But here's what I think is an interesting conversation, and you can tell me what you think about this. The idea of the usage of James Cook right now, it's great for fantasy owners. It's great for the padding the stat sheets. It's great for you and I, and you more specifically, because you've been saying this since last year, and I used to debate it with you, and I have since come around full circle to being on your side earlier this season, I think it was. Yeah. Or I'm sorry, earlier this year.
Yeah, before, yeah.
And I think this is a huge victory lap for everybody that's been saying pay Cook, and a victory lap for Cook himself.
Yeah.
Right? But what do you think about the usage, and what is this something that you want to see continue with a guy who A, has never had this kind of usage before in his career, and B, is a playmaker for this team that we know we are absolutely going to need for the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to shake Jeremy White, because he tweeted yesterday what did he say? He said Ray Davis can't get a sniff. Like, nah, we were in a hot hand here.
Right.
I mean, I you're right. I'm worried about it, but this goes back to what I said before. Whatever they say Cook can't do, he's done so far. They say he can't create a ball. He doesn't. He's not a bell cow. He's too small. He's this. He's that. And he's proven everything wrong.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to do that? No, but I think what they're doing is I wish they were setting up the play action. I really wish they were setting up a play action with this, but I think that they're just riding a hot hand and conserving. I don't think they have enough faith in the wide receiver room. I don't think they have enough faith in the rest of the running backs. So I think they're just like, we got to do something, and here he's it.
Right.
Yeah, I know everybody, Josh Allen, but James Cook has been largely one of maybe the best player on the team or on the field a lot of times. Somebody said something about Josh Allen putting on a cape yesterday. I'm like, when?
Well,
the run?
I think primarily, the run, I think is what they're talking about.
I mean, okay, but this is Josh Allen we're talking about now. That's something he does. Spencer Rattler was doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was shocked. I thought it was gonna be worse than he was. He actually wasn't that bad. He was not good, but he wasn't that bad.
I tried to tell folk.
Yeah, and to get back to your Cook point, I think they're setting up for something, and I hope they figure out how to get Ray Davis integrated somehow. But I think they like the zone run scheme, and that's something he does, and Ray Davis can't. I don't know why Ty Johnson's not in there, but hey, it's working now over 5 yards a clip. Let it happen.
Yeah. You got to stick with it. You got to stick with it. So, I talked about this a lot on Friday. And I'd like to get your input on this too, because I think me, Daniel, and Damaris were talking about this before the show. I think the idea of 4-0 right now sounds better than it actually is, and it's a major concern for me for this reason. Right on the pregame show with Tommy on Mafia Sports Report. He does a really good pregame show that he's allowed me to be a part of, which I'm very thankful for. And on that show, I asked the question: if you had one team that was considered a mid-tier team that didn't have a ton of great players, and they went 15-2, and then you had another team that was what people perceive to be the Bills caliber of team, high, top tier team, Super Bowl contender type of team, go 15-2, right? The 15-2 that the mid team got, they went through a gauntlet. They played a bunch of hard teams. They might have lost to maybe one good team and one bad team, and that's their 2 losses for the season. Whereas the Super Bowl contending team that went 15-2 played a cake schedule all season long. Right. And I asked the question, which 15-2 means more? Right. And Tommy answered, well, it's got to be the team that's mid, that, because they worked harder for it. They went through more. They endured more. They persevered more. And it was kind of a trick question from this standpoint. The 15-2 actually doesn't matter at all. Right? What matters is what each team went through to get there. Right? And the idea is we cherish and respect the Bills being 4-0 against really bad teams. Right? And every single time I bring up this point, people want to poo-poo on it and say, just enjoy the winning, just this and that, and whatever. But in my mind, the Eagles 4-0 is looking better than our 4-0 because they've had some, in my opinion, they've played against better competition to get to 4-0, right? So this isn't me trying to be negative for the sake of being negative, but I guess my question would be, and your assessment plus answering this question, my question would be, what are the Bills doing now in your mind that we can completely depend on in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think I was just thinking how I was going to formulate this, and you kind of took it. The 4-0 doesn't really matter a bunch to me. Not that it's not a good feat. It's not something that you can hang your hat on. It's something, something to have fun with. So I'm not going to take anything away from that. And it doesn't have anything to do with who you're playing against for me. What it is like you just said, the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
how do you get past the good teams in the playoffs? You know, maybe they can. Maybe there is a matchup in the playoffs that even what we're doing right now is going to work against that team. But my thing is, you know, what is your goal? What did you set out to do? Because like I said before, if your goal is Super Bowl and you don't win it, you fail.
Right.
It's 4-0, 5-0. So you can go 17-0, and you lose in the
Patriots
playoffs.
did it.
Yep, you lose in the playoffs. It's a failure.
Right.
They didn't walk around and say, "Yo, we went 17." You went 19. What was it? 18-1 or whatever it is. Whatever it comes out to be.
I think it was 19. No, it was 18-1.
18-1.
Right.
So yeah. So I mean, after a while, you're like, okay, we set out to be champions. Did we do it? Yes or no? And what you get into when you have that question is little kid speak. No, but I didn't say just yes or no. But yes or no. I don't hear about injuries. I don't want to hear about, you know, coaching and faux pas, because it's all a team thing. It's all wrapped into one nice little package.
Yeah.
Was that package going to get you past the finish line? And if it was, you succeeded. If it wasn't, you didn't. Go back next year and figure it out. You know, and I think this team has a lot to change. You know, namely the run game. We're by far not by far, but we're averaging 10 yards more than the number 2 worst team in the league in rushing against. We're averaging, I think it's we're number 3 from the bottom in yards per rush and play. That's not good enough,
right?
Because you know when you play in the wintertime, you play in the you know in the playoffs. So if you're outside in the snow in inclement weather conditions, you can't throw. So what are teams going to do? They're going to be like, oh, sweet, we got the Bills. We can run on them.
Right.
We don't have to throw.
We can live off the run. We good.
Right. And I think in a lot of ways we regressed our defensive running game, regressed from last year. And had this defense played against that Ravens team last year, we probably wouldn't have walked out of that game.
Right.
So what I like about what we're doing is we are blitzing a whole hell of a lot more than we ever did. I like the fact that we got, you know, a lot of young talent that's up and coming. But there's a lot that we can do in the next 13 games to solidify our mark and where we're going, our trajectory in the playoffs.
Yeah. We got a few comments here I want to get to. Forgive me if I haven't gotten to yours yet. We'll start off with Steve here. Steve says, we can enjoy the win and be able to notice the flaws and want to correct them so they don't eliminate us in the playoffs or get upset and lose the number 1 seed. We can hold more than one thought. That's a great point. Spin goes on to say, first seed matter regardless of who they played or their record. 1 seed at 10-7 is more important than second seed at 15-2. Good point. I'll get to the answer to that in just a second. Roy's over here trolling, saying he's talking to Spin. He says, you're watching PPP. There is no logical thinking allowed here.
None.
And then let me see. Tommy says, what this team needs to figure out is how to get to February. Yeah, now. Do it right now while everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
Laura says, I'd rather be 4-0 than not. Regardless, I am seeing really good things that we are doing on both O and D. The missed tackles does kill me though. So here's where I'm going with this. Right, because the idea of what I'm saying about 4-0 is not for. See, I think this is this point that I'm trying to make is an example of the question I asked, where the answer to the question is not actually the point. The point is built into the question that's being asked, right? And what I mean by all of that cryptic speak is, when you're thinking about what the Bills do well now and what they don't do well, you touched on this, right? The idea of that we can't stop the run. If we get a team in inclement weather and they come in here and they run the ball on us like the Ravens ran the ball on us in week 1, they can win a game doing that, right? And if you're in inclement weather where you really can't pass the ball, with 4 minutes left in the game to score 16 points and come from behind and win the way we won that game, guess what? You're sunk, right? Because if you can't keep pace with a team that can run on that we can't run on like they can run on us, then you're at a disadvantage from the beginning. And to kind of bring that to a pimple head here, for me to pop pus all over you haters.
Ew, yucky.
The idea is this: when we're thinking about the passing game, when we're thinking about tackling, when we're thinking about the run game, when we're thinking about pass defense, run defense, when we're thinking about scheme, how are all of these things going to translate against the better teams and the better quarterbacks in the NFL in the playoffs? Because I gave people a stat very early on in the start of this show, in I guess you could say season 1, year 1 of this show, which was Sean McDermott, his entire career has a losing record against quarterbacks with a 500 or better win percentage, right? And I'll check the numbers, but I'm sure that number is still consistent with his performance because of the fact that he's played against the division that he plays against every year, because of the other teams in the AFC for the last 3 years being absolutely terrible, aside from the Bengals, the Ravens, the Bills, and the Chiefs, right? You might have one, pop game from the Jaguars. They might be good for a season, they're bad the next. You might have, one pop from, the Colts. They're good one year, they're bad the next. Like it's always been since Sean McDermott has been here, it's always been Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, Bengals, the teams that got their quarterbacks first, right? So the idea is, those being the guys that you're more likely to see in the playoffs, what are you going to carry from the regular season that you know is going to work against those guys? The answer to me right now, and I was talking to Damaris about this before the show, and we agree, the answer to that is the run game with James Cook. You got that in the bag. You can do that on anybody. You did it last year, right? And then the play of Josh Allen, the caliber of quarterback that he is, and the plays that he can make himself, right? Let's not even include the pass game, because we saw the pass game struggle against the Saints defense yesterday, right? Mm-hmm. And when we're thinking about how all of this translates to the playoffs, y'all can sit here and say the 1 seed is the 1 seed and it's the schedule or the record doesn't matter at all. But I'm here to tell you, who you play against to get to where you get makes a difference. Because if we're 4-0 now, and let's say we go 15-1, the 16-1 the rest of the season, right? Everybody's going to go into the playoffs. And Jack, thank you very much. I'm going to get to that in 1 second. Let me just finish this point. Everybody's going to get to the playoffs at 16-1, and they're going to think, oh, we should dominate in the playoffs. Like, only one team is beating us during the regular season. We are a dominant team. We should get to the playoffs and we should dominate. And I guarantee that everybody in that first playoff game against whatever wild card, well, if we had the 1 seed, that first game against whatever divisional round opponent we play, when it gets tough, we're going to be sitting there scratching our heads and making all the same comments that we were making yesterday against the Saints. Well, why are we playing so bad? What's going on? Like, I was hearing this from folks in our Discord chat. I was seeing this in comments of other threads and other channels. And so it's not, we should not be focusing on Aramis saying the 4-0, the 4-0, the 4-0. The idea is we've played badly against bad competition. And if we've bungled this much against bad competition, yeah, we scored 30. But this performance can score 30 against a bad team. How many points is it going to score against a good defense, right? The Saints are the best defense we faced all season.
Yeah, it's hard to say, because I feel like this team, they don't know how to set the tone. They don't know how to set the pace. So, for me to sit here and say what you're not saying, but what I'm going to clarify this by saying what we've been doing in the last 4 games is not indicative of us playing against a good team. It's just the fact that we don't know how to run the pace. Yeah. We don't know how to put our feet on people's necks and destroy people.
No killer instinct. That's exactly
right. So you play Philadelphia, you could beat Philly, you could beat Kansas City, you could beat you saw the Ravens shootout.
Yeah.
But what you see, you saw James Cook and Josh Allen say, okay, we got to take over.
Right.
And they took over that game.
Yeah.
They came back from 15 or whatever it was in the fourth quarter.
15 down.
Because they knew they had to. Then when I watched the game yesterday, I didn't look in Discord because I just didn't. But but when I looked at the game yesterday, it's the same thing that happened when we played who was that? When we played was it the Jets? when it was like, what the hell is going on? Everybody's like, we're freaking out. And I'm like, Josh is sitting there like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, and like for me, I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't take the same cues now that I did when he first started. Because I used to say, you know, when the Texans playoff loss, I said I knew we were going to lose because his eyes told me before the game. And I think even Mel said, I look at Josh's eyes before the game to see what kind of game it's going to be. And so yesterday, I take it a step further and I go past the beginning, and they show the score. And they showed when Cooks almost caught the ball in the end zone for the winning touchdown.
Yeah.
And Josh is still like, okay. I'm like, okay. Cool. He's cool. I'm cool. Ain't nobody worried, you know. But I mean, I understand. Let me, you know what? Let's do this before I'm gonna go back to that. But I don't want to miss.
Yeah,
this.
I would. Yep, it's cool. All right, so Jack, thank you very much. Jack says, right. Thank you for that, Jack. Jack says, I feel like Allen has improved himself every season because he knew he had to and has no one to bail him out. Bean and McD haven't needed to learn and improve because Allen bails them out, bro. That is exactly what we've been saying for years now, multiple years now. The idea that the sum of parts. I love using this terminology that you gave me now. The sum of parts model that the Bills are employing. Where thank you for that. This model that they're employing, where you know they draft the right personality and they basically squeeze the juice out of each of these players, you know, is as much as they can possibly get, and then Josh solves the rest. You know what I'm saying? It's like we know that we have a beaker that is 100 milliliters. We know we can get 80 milliliters out of the rest of the team, and Josh will fill in that 20, and we'll be good to go from there. And this idea of, you know, all of that being about culture, it sells tickets off of that alone. People want to be part of a team that's winning regular season games, and it feels as good as it does when they win because of how good of a person these players are. Right. But again, at the end of the day, this is a cutthroat business. We just watched on Hard Knocks these players getting told that they're not gonna make the team. Right. This is a very real thing that happens for these guys. And I think the confusion has become, you know, the Bills telling us we should feel good about the guys that we have in the locker room, as opposed to feeling good about how many Super Bowls we're winning. Right? They've changed the narrative. They've moved the target. The goalpost is way over left now, and we're still focused on, you know, the goo guy of how many likable guys we have on this team, and that's not going to get it done. I wanted to go back to where we go for it.
Lynn, playing the way Buffalo hasn't shown us that they're capable, not able to crush me. See, that's kind of where I'm going with this again. I don't think it really shows me anything. It should. So I get what you're saying. I get it. But that's almost saying that you think what they're doing is maxing out what they, you know, their capabilities. They're not. You know, they've come out. They've been a lazy team.
Yeah. And
it seems like yesterday, you know, James and Josh, in the fourth quarter, all you heard was, yo, Josh, Jimbo, you know it. And then they go out there and do what they do. And that's what it seems like. You know, it's like nobody else in this huddle right now. Khalil Shakir with the beautiful catch and effort out of this world touchdown, which we know he can do.
Right.
We know that's what he can do. Keon Coleman, who started to take over again, we know he can do that. Yeah. You know, and so when I see stuff like that, I'm like, okay, everybody each can work, but it doesn't have to be these players. You can improve the players and everybody each. You don't have to have a diva. You can't go get AJ Brown. You can't go get, you know, one of those kind of players, a CD Lamb or you know, somebody that says throw me the ball. But you don't have to have B level, C level talent in everybody's scheme.
Right.
You know, what we're looking at right now is everybody's like, why don't we throw the ball deep? Why do you need to right now? Not saying you can't, but they don't feel they need to. You know, we threw an interception yesterday, almost followed up by another interception yesterday. The second one, they blame on James Cook. Whatever. The first one was just not. That was just a bad. And you know what? While I'm thinking about this, Jonas Sanker, he makes me really want to see Jordan Hancock.
Yes,
I have to see Hancock. Because
I was just thinking that.
I didn't realize that dude was a rookie. Well, I watched him like where'd he come from? Oh, the back down on Knox. The back. I mean, he was everywhere. I mean, he was playing pro level. And I mean, I'm sitting here like, Hancock's the cornerback.
Yeah.
Hancock at safety can do what this dude is doing. Put him in the game. Because what's Rap doing? Bishop is all right.
Right.
But what's Rap doing?
Yeah.
He took the little mushroom top off, and now he got lost in the sauce.
I mean, look, all I know is I was watching this.
Smith said trade Rap for sinker. Sure.
I was watching this rookie safety ball out against us, and it made me mad because our safeties can't do it. I want to get to this comment by Steve. What is going on with our my air horn button?
Uh-oh.
Neither one of them is doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. Let me see. Nope, none of my buttons are working right now.
We done lost it.
Hold on, let me see. Nope, that's not working either. Okay.
Mirror.
Yeah, apparently I'm gonna have to reset some stuff around here.
Oh, the fix is in.
Yep. Let me see. Nope, that's not doing anything either. Wow, check that out.
And while you're doing that, Nate, he said McDermott's still wasting timeouts on defense to say their butts. The one timeout he called was not his fault. The one where they were trying to get the substitution. The Saints they subbed out, so he should have been allowed to sub out too. That was a rough error, so he had to get his right personnel in, which it was not advantageous in it, but it wasn't something that we fell apart on. He just had to figure out how to get the refs' attention since he didn't like what he saw. I heard they laid in a Bosa big time when he was laid off the field. They said Nielsen was in his grill, so I mean hey. You know, he was hot dogging off. Cam Lewis does the baseball slide off the field. It didn't have to, but
all right. All right. So here's Steve's comment here. Wait, let me get this. Let me get that off of there and get this one up. Says the Bills are Rocky 3, blinded by wins against bums, not noticing all the flaws that are showing, and it's all good until we get knocked out by Clubber Lang, Mr. T, played by Mr. T. Fix the flaws or rude awakening. Yeah, that's so. I had this thought actually, and this was my analogy, and it's crazy how alike me and Steve think. I was thinking about this last night as I was making the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bills are the Indiana Jones of the NFL, right? And here's what I mean by that. Indiana Jones was never known as a dominant type of hero. He was never feared by anybody. He was hated by a lot of people because he always kind of, lucked his way out of situations, right? But he was never imposing to anybody. You know what I'm saying? He never kind of brought that kind of, fear as a hero that I don't know, maybe a Black Adam would, who's just absolutely ruthless. You know what I'm saying? For those of you who know who Black Adam is.
I got you. Yeah.
but anyway, the idea is Indiana Jones always found himself in a bunch of jams due to, trying to, skirt rules and just get by on everything that he could possibly get by on in pursuit of his passion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All of this stuff that he was getting into was for the right reasons. It was for, the discovery of history and his passion of, finding, cool new things and treasure was a big part of that too. But there was always this mindset that he had that was a noble thing that he was going after. And he refused to let people, pervert it around him, right? That wasn't a part of his character. And I think the Bills are the same in terms of the guys that they employ on the team, the guys that they draft. They don't want somebody coming in there perverting the culture. They want things to be done a certain way, right? And what that leads to is they find themselves in a lot of situations like yesterday where they're having a very tight game that shouldn't be a tight game against a team that's 0-3 at the time that you have no business struggling like that against. You have no business getting sacked 3 times by that team. You have no business throwing a pick and then almost throwing another pick against a team like the Saints. And that's not to say that the Saints don't have any good players. They're an NFL level team, right? And that means that any given Sunday they have a chance to win. But the expectation of good teams is that you perform consistently against good and bad competition. So if you're going to perform at a high level against good competition and score 40 points on them, you should be doing the same exact thing, if not more, against bad competition, right? So when you like when I was making that correlation, I'm like, it fits perfectly because the Bills have consistently been this team where they get lucked into so many different situations. And the first of all of the situations that they get lucked into is the acquisition of Josh Allen. It's the luckiest thing that's ever happened to the Bills.
That's not what I thought you were going to say, but yeah, go ahead.
What'd you think I was going to say?
I thought the first it was the Bengals win that got us to the playoffs. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Oh, well, you know what? You might be right. That
was the first domino.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you and I used to talk so much about these scenarios that would always pop on the TV. Yep. Why do they always keep putting this stuff up? We know damn well it's not going to happen. What are we even talking about?
Don't get my hopes up.
Right.
Not mathematically limited. We won 5 games.
That's right.
If these 12 teams lose and this team wins by 4, but that team had to not show up, then we can win. What?
And it would be like a crazy. It would be like Peyton Manning. You know, right. Peyton Manning has to have a bad game in order for us to really.
We're like, we hope they win out so he can sit down and lose the last 2. So maybe if we win all our games, we have a chance. It was so hard to be a fan, just trying to figure out the math all the time.
Right.
You know what T.I. has asked? How are you good at mental math? That's why. Just trying to figure all this stuff out.
That's it. The percentages, the projections, all that stuff comes from the Bills breaking our hearts for so many years.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm glad you said the culture thing, because I had a thought when I wasn't on the show on Friday. I was still kind of making notes of things, and I thought about culture. I said, okay, Mr. Reed, between the lines, let me ask you this. Do you see a difference in the phrases culture we built versus culture we are building?
Yes. So my interpretation of that would be culture we built is the core players and coaches that they have on the team that have been there for a while. And then the culture that we are building is surrounded around the new guys that they're trying to implement as the new core of the football team.
Yeah, see, when I looked at this, I don't remember where I got the idea from. I was watching a podcast, maybe it was a press conference, which I don't even watch. But when I listened to how they word it, when they say culture we built, to me it sounds final. It sounds, we're not changing. We built it. This is it. But culture we're building is like ever evolving. It's ever changing almost. And in my mind, when I'm thinking about how we're building this team with the culture we're building or culture we built, you get rid of Poyer. You bring in another Poyer like player. Mm-hmm. You get rid of Jordan Phillips. You bring in another Jordan Phillips like player. Yeah. Whereas culture you're building, okay, Poyer was nice, but how do we evolve? What kind of player do we need to combat the new age NFL? And I was thinking that, when we were talking about I think in the Discord we're talking about Gardner Johnson, and somebody mentioned they should go get him, and I'm like, they won't, because he's a distraction. He's not this culture. And I think that's what it was, because culture we're building would go investigate that. But culture we built is like, I know he's good, but he doesn't fit what we're doing. He doesn't fit where we want to go. Right. So, I think for us to, like Steve says, and Tommy and everybody and Kev especially, to change the defense, change this. No, they built the culture. Built. It's in stone. This is what they want. Every year they want to be able to stop the pass, but kind of slow up the run, but they don't care about stopping the run.
Right.
So I really thought hard about why exactly do we not really lean on the fact that he keeps saying culture we built. McDermott hangs his hat on, we built it. We're good. And that goes back to the kick in the door thing. That goes back to just running back with the same people all over again. Yep. That goes back to us benching. Why do we bench Codrington and put Jordan Phillips in the game? I don't know. It was just strange to me that they put Shakir in the punt return. They got Curtis Samuel. When the last time he did that? A kick return. Yeah. It was just strange to me. But Codrington is the one thing in special teams besides Reed Ferguson that people like to hang their hat on.
This is the only team, and I think this is where you were going, because when the team talks about culture, I had a tendency to do this too until I came to this realization I'm about to bring out. It sounded like you were talking about culture as an identity, right? And you've pointed out several times the team has no identity, right? And that's like meditating on that is what brought me to the realization of, and this is why I said players, the Bills' idea of culture is separate from their identity. or what they identify as, right? And when you have a team that separates its culture from its on-field identity, you have a lot of what you have on the field now, where it's we're going to do these things that we think work. Why? Not because it's our identity and it's what we're built to do, but because we believe it's what the, how can I say that? It's what the math, or it's what the film, or it's what the depth chart tells us will work in this game. And then when it doesn't, then it becomes, Josh, you got to save us. Right? And for me, that's what I think is coming back to bite the Bills in the butt now with the new guys, because let's be honest, and this is why I titled this episode what I did, have the Bills finally done it again? I think the Bills with Deion Walker are on the verge of finally having an impact player on defense, like a real Josh Allen level player on defense, a guy that is an absolute unicorn. If he can just anchor consistently.
I had that in my notes. After this, I can't wait. I am so excited to see him next to Ed Oliver.
Yeah.
I am so excited to see him after a year of strength and conditioning with the Bills organization. Because if he can anchor, I think it was me and Sean, we were going back and forth about it last Monday, but if he could get that lower body strength together and stop the run,
you need to stay sitting down for
a while.
I
gotta stay sitting down. If people can come in. Did you not see what he did against the run? But did you see what the block set was? The block set was a pass. It was they were both draws.
Yeah,
which means they're pass blocking. Now we know he can get off on the pass block, but what I need to see is him stacking up against it, because he's getting double teamed all the time.
He was getting penetration on the run with those draw plays that you were talking about.
Yeah,
like just shoving dudes out the way or jucking
that
up
swim.
Under.
He's got good hand work. But the thing about I need to see him is the block, stack, and discard. He's not discarding people yet, so I don't think he's strong enough at the point.
Right.
Which is fine, because him next to Daquan Jones, give me some of that.
Yeah.
Him next to Zion Lowe, give me some more of that. Him next to TJ Sanders, I'll pass.
Right.
I'll pass.
Right.
Not because TJ Sanders sucks, but because
they're both the same guy.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Neither one of them can stop the run.
Right.
So you need to double team, because there was two instances I can tell you offhand where Deion Walker got washed out. His zone was where they ran through, and TJ Sanders is over here just reaching. I'm like, get physical. Get physical. Create a pile. Something. Please, because we're talking about, I think it was me and Laura, we weren't really talking, we mentioned was it Kendre Miller, 6 feet 220. You're not arm tackling this dude. That's why he scored that touchdown. Nobody wanted to tackle him. Nobody wanted to but see, that's your D tackles have to stop them before they get to your small back seven. And when you have Daquan Jones in there, Zion Logan there, you have a shot. But TJ Sanders and Deion Walker, not just yet. Billy D, I wouldn't say Walker's turning into DT99. I wouldn't do that.
not yet. But again, the crazy part is this. And then I want to get to Lindsay's comment. The crazy part is this. When Josh first got here, he had warts too. Right? And that's why I'm looking at what Deion Walker is putting on tape now, is we might be really onto something, because again, the flashes of absolute greatness are there already, right? And what does that mean? Well, we saw the same exact thing with Josh Allen. The flashes of greatness were there. The hurdles of a 6'3" linebacker, the bullet arm passes down the field in stride to a Robert Foster against the Jaguars. The preseason game that I talked about against the Browns, where he jukes left from a pass rusher, then kind of scrambles right just a few steps in the pocket and throws a bullet in the back of the end zone to a streaking receiver in stride, absolutely right in the middle of his chest. You know what I'm saying? Those were flashes of greatness where, like, if he can just tweak and discipline a few things, he will be on an insane level that nobody's ever seen before, which is where he is now.
But see, that's the gotcha. This is where they're going to fumble.
Okay.
Deion Walker has shown you what he can be. Okay. You already seen it. Yeah. Year one. No offseason conditioning. I mean, really.
Yeah. Because he was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt. You know, you had to bring him. He didn't do a lot of team drills, but see, every year they bring somebody in that needs that strength and conditioning work. We've always done it, and then the second year they put him with the guy, and you see a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what they need to do is stop saying, you know what, we're on to something. We're done. Right. This is what they keep doing. We're done.
That's right. We got our one guy. Right. That's it.
What do you do with that?
Yeah.
What is it? What is a complementary piece? Is it Ed Oliver? It could be, but you know, because Ed Oliver, he takes the double teams and he still makes plays. Now, you know, in the interim, in the very beginning, everybody's going, oh, snap, 91. Still 91, but what do we do at 96? 91. Where do we slide? It's like, you know, Deion, they come my side, that's your side. They come your side, that's my side. I want that conversation.
Right.
That's like music to your ears, is it not? Deion, you know, I'm going to go this time. This be this time. Let me get this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the conversation. Not just, I hope maybe if we can just get this at. No.
Right.
Whoever's in front of you, eat them. We finally got that guy there. And we got Ed there. We got Bosa over here, whose team's not to worry about. Mm-hmm. When you go ahead and put in the Michael Hoyt, man, I'm telling you, if you fumbled his bag, Nielsen, if you fumbled his bag, Babbage, this is a fireable offense in my eyes.
Yeah.
Because you got this D line finally got. You know, you don't have the edge rusher I want still. Mm-hmm. But if you fumble this.
Look at this. There it is.
Hands and feet. Hands and feet.
You putting hands and feet on
Hands and feet is going to be applied to
Let's get to this comment from Lindsay so we can get you calmed down just a little bit. Lindsay says they need to get rid of Rap and put in Hancock.
Did you just say you gonna calm me down? That ain't gonna do it. The wrong conversation. Yes.
You don't think that's calming you down?
No, because I said that when we first drafted this dude. I said he plays safety. Wow, put him in. He's a cover safety. Wow, put him in. Rap. Oh, come on with this. Like Hancock got a hangnail. He can't play. I'm sorry. Like, come on now. Let's let the young boy go. I mean, it's just like, you know, Trey White hasn't been bad. He has not been bad. Trey White can't tackle. Trey White couldn't tackle. Trey White's never going to tackle. And that's just what it is. But Dorian Strong, time to get another look. He got 15 snaps yesterday.
Yeah.
He allowed 2 catches for 4 yards. Time to get another look.
Time to get another look.
Time to get another look.
Just saying.
I mean, what do I know? You know, it wasn't against the backup. This was against bona fide players.
Just draft the whole secondary in the 5th and 6th rounds. It seems like those are the only guys that come in here and do well. Terrence Johnson, 5th round pick. Jordan Hancock, 5th round pick. Friggin' Dorian Strong and Christian Benford, 6th round picks.
Let's do it.
That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts.
But that's a testament to Babbage and even McDermott, their knowledge of safety play, you know, and defensive back play.
Yeah. Sal, I don't know how we got on this one, but Sal says Chan Gailey was an excellent offensive mind. Excuse me, wish he had this team. Look, here's the thing, and let's park on this for a second too, just for a quick second. The idea of Joe Brady's creativity with this offense and what we saw in the first half versus what we saw in the second half. Sean says something revealing in the the halftime interview before he went into the locker room. He talked about, he said we need to play complementary football in the run, and then in the post-game press conference, he commended his coaching staff for the halftime adjustments and he cited mainly, running the ball, right? And it got me thinking about the idea of complementary football as a whole, right? Because as a defensive coordinator, and you're a defensive guy, usually when you think complementary football, you're thinking offense is running the ball, giving the defense a chance to rest so that when the defense gets out there, they're fresh, they're strong, they get, they go out there, they play extremely well, they get the takeaway, give it back to the offense runs it again, running a lot of clock off and resting the defense again. Like that's a cycle of success that the offense can sustain, that helps to rejuvenate and sustain the defense, that continues. So I see the cycle of complementary football that Sean McDermott is dreaming of. But the issue here is you don't have a defense that can get teams off the field in 3 plays.
Yeah.
So you're run all day long on offense, trying to play complementary football for what? Right? Because the idea is I'm playing conservatively and I'm not scoring 60 points so that I'm also not putting my defense out there for long drives by the offense, right? Well, if you play that way, then you're destined to have close games against bad teams. Why? Because you're trying to hide your defense as much as possible at this point, really. And when you talked about changing the mindset of the offense and changing the mindset, the plan of attack on offense specifically, we've seen the Chiefs win 2 Super Bowls having a defense ranked in the 20s, but an offense ranked either first or second overall. And the thing that I've seen Sean go away from is having that number 1 or number 2 offense in the NFL to make Josh more efficient, to decrease the turnovers, to run the ball more. And all this falls under this category of complementary defense for a defense that doesn't complement the offense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the defense forces the offense to have to score on every possession. Meanwhile, the offense is trying to matriculate the ball down the field to rest the defense that's going to go out there and be out for a long drive again. It doesn't make sense. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because I don't even know. I don't know.
It's hard to fix, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to fix because a lot of people were talking about how the defense is well, Nate got me there. The defense staying on the field to keep the offense fresh. And Kev said defense is not playing complementary football, which in itself is not playing complementary football. It has nothing to do with the offense or defense. Really, the offense is self-sustaining. The offense, and this goes back to a comment I think it might have been Alton earlier said, we're number 1 in run defense. So what are we really talking about with the weather? And if we have to have a team run on us, I mean,
we have the number 1 run defense.
Run offense. I'm sorry, run offense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the number 1 run offense, number 31 run defense, 32nd, however you want to grade it. Mm-hmm. The thing about that is teams know if we can't throw the ball, they know what we're gonna do, and they can stop it. We've shown by the fact that we put up points on people, bad teams, mm-hmm. and all they do is run the ball, and we can't stop it. Now, I just had this thought when we were just talking about Rousseau. I mentioned last time about how Rousseau's a non-factor because they got him playing 5 tech. Is he playing 5 tech because they don't trust the defensive tackles to own those 3 gaps in the middle?
That's a good point.
So it's like they bring him and Bosa in. Now, if you watched yesterday, they both played the 9 tech. So they both got pressure. They both can condense the pocket, mm-hmm. but we got run on like crazy.
They funneled everything inside. That's what they always want to do.
Right. And they took off with the middle of us, but I think you need to figure out how to make your $20 million defensive end as good as you can make him. He's not going to get 10 sacks. If he was going to get a 10 sack artist, he would not have been only paid $20 million.
Right.
He would got 30 mil, but there's a reason why it's 20. I know it sounds crazy to us because we don't make 20 mil. I mean, I make 19.5, but whatever.
It also doesn't mean it's a good reason to pay him 20
million. No, I know. But what I'm saying is if you want the guy, there's a reason why he didn't set the market. There's a reason because they know he has no potential,
right,
to be this sack artist, to be this disruptor.
He's peaked already.
He's a good player. That's what they know. Yeah. They said you're a top 15 player, top 13 player,
and that's fair.
We'll pay you for that, and that's what they did. So I think what they have to do now is they need to figure out, okay, should we as fans park on players who are compensating for other players, complementary football? Mm-hmm. You Mr. Ed, as Nate calls him, he always gets ridiculed for not having any kind of pressure. Why? Because he's always double teamed.
That's right.
because he's complimenting somebody. See, that's where Deion Walker is going to really be nice.
Yeah.
Because if you double team Ed, you got to worry about this 330-pound behemoth coming through.
That's right.
Enjoy yourself. So, I mean, it's a perfect marriage, because when Hoyt comes back, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm excited about Hoyt coming back, because he's not a great pass disruptor, but he's a good run stuffer. And he can get to the quarterback. We've seen it. And a lot of the talent we played in these first 4 weeks is not as good as what we played in the preseason. So that gives me a lot of good feelings about this. I feel like
are you seeing him being used as a defensive tackle evenly with outside pass rusher, or do you think
I think he's gonna be playing and maybe some linebacker,
okay.
some two tech, or not two tech,
Sean Alexander role?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I think he's gonna be a compressor, he's gonna be a power rusher. And he's crazy. I mean, he's got good hands. He's got a good feel for technique. Get your hands off me, and he pushes you to the quarterback. And I can't wait to see it again. He's somebody that I think will complement Epinesa and or Bosa very well. I think you have a nice stable of edge. I don't even call them rushers, edge guys, edge setters, if you will, compressors. Because I don't want to be misinterpreted saying that we actually are going to have an uptick in sacks,
right? Because
I don't think we will. I think we're dialing up a lot of pressure. I think that blitz that they sent Terrell Bernard on yesterday, where I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but I thought TJ Sanders was real close to getting a personal foul on that intentional grounding, because it gave Rattler a forearm shiver to the helmet, almost, upper neck region on the end of that play, which wasn't malicious or anything, but you got to be careful. But yeah, I think I would. Who said it? If somebody, I don't remember who said it. Chan Gailey with this offense.
Oh yeah, that was Sal.
If you had Chan Gailey with this offense on the offensive coordinator tip, and Jim Schwartz with the defense, and a head coach that said, you know what, make me some money. I'm not even, just do it. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you do it. I don't even want to know what you do. Just do it. Make me some money. Make me look great. That's what I want our coach to say. Make me look great. I will give him all the credit. Just hire.
We wouldn't have anything to talk about on the show.
We sound like everybody else.
Yeah, we would definitely sound like everybody else.
Like, you know what? I didn't like the way that Shaq Lawson, Shaq Thompson tied his shoes. Let's talk about that for an hour and a half.
Right. It's like, okay, so please understand, everybody. Like that is the thing that I think people are missing when it comes to why it seems like we're always so negative, right? We see things that other teams do, like, y'all should do that. That's sweet. We've seen that work. We like this guy in college. He's good at, you know what I'm saying? And there are things that we've seen the Bills do even now that we like, and we do talk good about it. We talk good about Deion Walker. We talk good about a few players. But the idea is to have as much of that happen as possible if you want us to sound positive.
Yeah, I think for me it's like, okay, you get a Deion Walker. We see what he could be. We saw him in college. Now, is he going to get lost in the shuffle, or are you going to improve him?
Right.
Michael Hoyt, when they signed him, that's my crew right now. It's a little early to say I was wrong, probably, but I'm ready to say I was wrong about him, because what I saw from him in a rotation, I can't wait. But I need to see improvement. All the guys they bring in improve. I don't want them to get lost in the shuffle and say, well, they did that, but we don't need to do that anymore. OMG, PPP is such a negative podcast.
Yeah, you saw that too?
Lord, Buffalo is 4-0. And I am relaxed. I just went on a tangent about how great it's going to be when Ed Oliver and Deion Walker play. Are you not listening on both ears?
Right.
Come on now.
I think he was playing.
I know he was.
Yeah. Albert said, did y'all see how good this is gonna make you mad. Did y'all see how good Abdul has been looking? Would you mind the Bills giving away a load of picks to gamble on a blue chip edge safety like Downs or the SC guy?
You said give away a couple of picks.
Yep, give away a load of picks to gamble on a blue chip edge safety, like edge or safety, like Downs or the SC guy.
I wouldn't. I mean, that's all we're missing. That's all we're missing at this point in time.
Is
a blue chip
safety
chance. See, I know you can miss. I know that, but I don't want the guy that's like, well, if we do this, that, and third, he can be great. I want the guy that comes in, could be great because he's great, and he has a chance to flame out.
Yep.
In any scheme, Abdul Carter in this scheme, unblockable.
Yep.
Next to Ed Oliver, next to Deion Walker, and you could have had all, probably not Deion Walker or TJ Sanders or what's his name? That's right. Landon Jackson.
Yeah.
But if you're taking that away and you're gonna give me a year of Abdul Carter or Jared Verse or whatever, somebody asked how Mike Green is looking. He looks fine to me. He doesn't have the numbers to do it, but he's making pressure. He's playing.
Yeah,
it's better than our third rounder.
Yeah.
And better than our second rounder who got picked before him. Right. But going back to the chance, just give me a chance at getting somebody that has the DNA, has the traits, has the pedigree to do the things that we don't have. We're not missing a cornerback, a safety, a linebacker, a defensive tackle, defensive. We're not missing everything like we have in years past. Mm-hmm. If I got to sacrifice even Deion Walker for an edge talent and you give me Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver and somebody for another year, fine, I'll take it. Because that edge is that's the sexy move right there.
Right.
That edge. Everybody, you might have a good defensive tackle, but how many of them get love? What's Devondre Sweat done this year? Probably something, but nobody knows, nobody cares.
He's been good in Tennessee.
See,
you know
because you watch it. But yeah. I saw Justin Simmons with a sack on Michael Penix. Mm-hmm. But that edge, that elusive edge, we just haven't been able to put our thumb on one yet.
Yeah.
If we get our thumb on an elusive edge or a safety like Sanker, Hancock, we ready to rock. Wide receiver wise, yeah, we would love to have something a little better there, but they're fine. They're fine. The offense, like I said, offensively, it might be boring, it might not be exciting, it might not be the most high flying, but it's working. It's working. Defense is where we really need to look here. And I don't want to use every draft pick from here until the end of oblivion to try to figure this out.
We might need to.
If Bean wants me to like him, this is what you do. Tommy, you listening? Okay. I hope you're still here. Anyway.
Do it.
If you want me to like you, package some picks and move up and get yourself a bona fide edge. Get you that dude. Mm-hmm. Whoever Penn State is bringing. I can't believe I said that because I hate Penn State rushers. But they have been lights out lately.
Yes.
They have been lights out lately. Get one of them. And or Michigan and let's rock. That's how you got to do it. I'm not worried about running back. I'm not worried about, the offensive line even. Tylen Grable's coming back this week, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, he's coming back this week. He can practice now. He's an heir apparent to Deion Dawkins. Yeah. You got Van Prant. You got a dude over here, Vandermark. Who can be a serviceable backup, starter even. Your interior, I saw McGovern fall more times than I wanted him to yesterday.
Bro,
yesterday was, I was like, what the hell's going on with this dude? What's going on with this dude? But, the interior line, our left guard and center can be replaced. Outside of that, you're pretty much good to go. And you're not using high picks on them anyway. I don't think you want to. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's figure out how to do this defense thing, because if you're going to give up yards, you got to get more sacks. You got to get more. You got to get more turnovers on the back end. You got to get those guys that fire and go get that ball. Pass breakdowns. Bat downs.
Yep.
These are the things that, like you saw Sanker yesterday. He was all over the place.
All over the place.
We don't have a dude like that,
right?
And we need somebody like that. Hancock. I'm fighting something here. I don't know what I'm fighting. It's a demon inside of me.
Sounds pretty prevalent there.
Gotta take a sip of my key wiser.
I think pretty much everything you said is connected to this comment and the idea that I'm going to bring out of all this here, which is what Alton says. Deion is just 21. Just imagine if we had a top defensive line coach. And when I read that comment, my first thought was, there's no way that Sean lets a top tier defensive line coach in the building. Why though? Right? Because it's not a, how can I say this? It's not a personal reason, right? Like Sean doesn't walk around thinking he hates every elite defensive line a defensive line coach. Mm-hmm. But I think the idea of bringing anybody in the door that is elite at what they do brings about a mindset in Sean that person is not going to be humble enough to do the kind of work that I believe I'm teaching our people to do, right? Or they're not going to be willing to do things the exact way that I think they should be done. And I used this example when I was talking to Damaris before the show. And the example that I brought up was what we heard from LaShawn McCoy. And he said it for a second time on this new podcast that he does with Emmanuel Acho. And I listened to that show after the Ravens win, and they had Deion Dawkins on the show, and I forget the name of the podcast. I'll tweet it out or something like that for those of you that are interested.
Who is this on it?
It's Emmanuel Acho and
McCoy
and LaShawn McCoy, and then some DJ guy that they have kind of hosting the show.
It's like Peggy.
But anyway, so on this show, LaShawn McCoy told the same story that he told on the Speak show that he was doing about his interaction with Sean McDermott and how they tried to get him to take a pay cut. And he said Sean pulled me in his office and he said we need you to take a pay cut. And Shady said his reaction was, what? Why are you taking money from me? Right. And he said the reasoning was, the numbers went down, and Shady said the numbers. Look who I'm running behind. Look who are the receivers? Like who you got throwing? Like right. I'm playing with bums, and right. You want me to take a pay cut?
Right.
Following year, he was gone.
So you can pay who? No, I'm not with that.
Right. And again, this was his last interaction with Sean. Right. And so my point is, and my theory is that interaction, and probably some others in the span of Sean's career, have shaped his mind around this idea that players at Shady's level are probably going to give you that same kind of reaction when you ask them to do something for the team, or you ask them to take a hit for the team, or you ask them to make themselves smaller for the team, or whatever it is, right? And Sean probably has it in his mind that he's not going to be able to establish the culture of team camaraderie and team focus and culture focus and all that kind of stuff if he's got guys like that are not willing to do things to help the team out, right? You cannot expect to have success at the highest level without those guys, though, right? Think about Aaron Kromer and what he's done with this offensive line the last couple of years and how different it's looked from what we had under Daboll. Big difference.
Right.
Very much so, right? Including the development of Osiris Torrance, in especially in the pass game, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, because I've had this thought before too, why don't we just go get a guy like Aaron Kromer for the defensive line and make Greg Rousseau elite?
Maybe Aaron Kromer knows something about defensive line.
Maybe he does.
Come on, Aaron.
If you know about blocking him, you got to know about how to get through him.
Stop it, yeah.
Right. So but again, all this comes down to Aaron Kromer's a much older guy, more of a traditional style dude, getting towards the end of his career pretty much. Ryan Nielsen, the defensive line coach, is a guy that was just fired from the Jaguars as a defensive coordinator. So he's kind of, in a place of being humbled. Perfect position for him to be in, being here in Buffalo, where he's not thinking too highly of himself to put himself before the team. Like, these are all the types of guys that Sean is putting in the room. Mm-hmm. And in Sean's mind, there's no space for any of that elitist mindset that would come with having an elite defensive line coach, or having an elite pass rusher, or having an elite safety that's going to come in here and think, man, just put me on the field. I'm going to make plays. Right. I got you. Don't worry about that.
Right.
What was the play called? I made the play. What's the problem, coach?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, the problem is you got 10 other guys on the field doing the thing that they were supposed to do. And even though you got the interception, we need you to play with the rest of the team. Right. You got to do your 111.
Who told you to be over there?
Right. You was out of position even though you made the interception.
You read it?
Right.
Excuse me?
What is that?
What the hell are you doing over there?
Right.
You think, son? You don't react, you think.
Right.
And so so let's do this. How about we take Mike Green off the table and we put in James Pierce? How about we do that?
Okay.
Because they're one of the same. James Pierce went 4 picks before us. We could have traded up slightly to get him.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a sack. He's got like 13 pressures, like 7 quarterback hits. The whole yeah, he's out there doing his thing. So
who's he playing for?
Atlanta.
Oh, they got wait. Don't they got 2 pass rushers? Don't they have another first round guy that they drafted? Or is that the same guy, James Pierce?
It might be the same guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he had. See, the thing about him was he had questionable things coming out of college.
Okay. Yeah, it is the same guy I was thinking about. Yeah.
So I mean, it can't change.
Yeah.
You know, you come to Buffalo and you look at the demographic of Buffalo. If he can survive in Atlanta, you know what the demographic is there.
Right.
He can survive in Buffalo because you know what the demographic is here.
Very different.
It's very different. You're not gonna get away with as much up here as you can down there.
Not at all.
We don't have Chocolate City up here.
Ask Marshawn Lynch.
Right. So I mean, like a player like that, where you see a 6'5", 245-pound specimen gets off the edge, and you're like, I could take a shot. I could take a chance here. I mean, yeah, okay, you got a 4-year commitment, maybe 5-year if he pans out. If he doesn't, you got Bosa, you have Hoyt, you got Epinesa and Rousseau. You still got these guys. Solomon you took last year. But see, that's the kind of thing you gotta identify. Wow, he's still there at 25, huh? Wow, maybe I should call and see what they want for him.
Take a shot.
Take that shot, because if you got the culture, like I said, we built the culture, or we building, because you got to evolve. You got to evolve, and this is the way you show that you want to evolve, Bean. I won't call you Beanhead, but this is how you show me, Bean. You want to evolve.
Yeah.
Dorian Williams is a bust. Damn, Spin, you usually a positive one.
Right. I was just looking at that, like, what the hell, Dorian Williams? Billy D said it, because I was gonna say that too. Like, he just need playing. Like, think about what we saw out of 2-5. Who? Tyrell Dodson.
2-5. Yeah, we named him that.
We named him 2-5.
When we had 12 people watching, 2-5.
Right. Like, think about what we had in Tyrell Dodson the year he left. You know what I'm saying? Like, he stepped up as a guy that was one of the best tacklers on the team. I think he had the most tackles that year. And he stepped his game up in pass defense. It was like, why wouldn't you re-sign him?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Milano's hurt all the time. Just re-sign this guy for a lesser contract. He shouldn't be expecting that much anyway. That's your backup plan. If Milano gets hurt again, you bring that guy in. And what do? They let him go, and they draft the same exact guy in Dorian Williams.
Yeah.
And then we're sitting here talking about how Dorian Williams sucks in the pass defense. What? Let him get the chance to play before you just start bashing the kid like that. He really had it. Last year was the best season he's had. Why? Because he played the most reps of any other season that he's been in the league. Yeah. He's been in the league 3 seasons now, right? And he had the most tackles on the team. Like, who else? 2-5.
2-5.
When you gave him a chance, he balled. So the idea is you have to, and again, this is why I always land on this, because folks get so wrapped up in stats and numbers and all that stuff to kind of tell the tale of the game. No, what did the guy do on the field? What was he reading? How did he react? How quick was it? How well is he tackling? You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff will show up in the numbers.
It's like, is he improving? He was a good player. Is he improving? What is his keys wrong? Is he just too slow? What is he missing? Is it between the ears, or is it just physical? We can fix that.
Because he could be putting up a bunch of tackles simply because the rest of the team can't tackle. Right. I mean, technically that's where we're at now. So I want to get to this comment from James Payne. Says, yes, the D gives up a ton of yards, but they lead the league in pass defense. If I'm not mistaken, that is one-dimensional. That is the secret sauce. Okay, I get that. But again, part of the reason why I'm sneering and leering at the 4-0 is because the Bills currently have a top 10 defense. We're ranked 9th overall in the NFL right now. 9th overall, right? And every team that we've played is either winless or they have 1 win.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's I understand where the point is coming from, but you're talking about Spencer Rattler, you're talking about Justin Fields, you're talking about, we played Lamar and they went for 238 yards on the ground. Lamar had 200 something yards in the air, whatever else he had on the ground. You play against those kind of guys, it's not going to be one dimensional. It's not. Tua, come on, it's Tua. But I understand the premise of it. But to your point, which I have to begrudgingly refer to, we got to see what happens when we're playing against teams that actually can sling it out there. We got to see against teams that can run against, that can run and sling, because they're coming.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming. Even if you're talking about 230 yards, you're talking about 120 yards on the ground. If you're talking about giving up 400 plus yards a game, that's not good. And yeah, we allowed 160 something yards in on the ground, but Spencer Rattler just had 126 yards passing.
Right.
Justin Fields, I don't remember what he had, but it wasn't great. Tua, whatever he went for 200, I believe.
Let me pull those. I'll pull those.
Okay, yeah, but when you're gonna play, I gotta pull the schedule up, because there are going to be guys that will give you pause when it comes to passing the ball. And why are teams running is because they don't have a quarterback. What happens when we play against teams with quarterbacks? What happens when we play against teams that actually have bona fide wide receivers?
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen that
against
yet.
Steph Diggs and the Patriots next week.
Yep. And I just picked him up on the fantasy squad just for that very reason.
Because he's gonna get off.
I think he might do. I mean, I don't think he's gonna destroy us because we know him, especially Benford. Benford's seen him so often. But that lends to what kind of defense are we going to play? Are we going to try to get cute and run man a lot, or are we going to do what we do best and play zone?
Yeah. Tua had 146 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
146 yards there, 126 yards. Can you pull up Justin Fields real quick?
Yeah.
So between those two, that's 130 yards passing.
56 yards and 1 touchdown. I'm sorry, no, that's Tyrod Taylor. Justin Fields. Oh, they only bring up the. Hold on, let me see here.
Like, but it was pretty bad, but
no, wait, that's not.
That didn't happen.
Oh, it's even worse. Justin Fields.
That's right.
3 of 11 for 27 yards, no touchdowns.
And that explains why we're number 1 with the bullet in passing defense.
Yep.
We only played against Lamar Jackson.
The total passing yards for Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields combined is 83 yards.
James Cook outran them.
Outran their passing yards, basically. Yeah.
I mean,
and he. So this is the crazy part. James Cook in that game outran their passing yards combined with both of their rushing yards, because Justin Fields ran for 49 yards. He ran. Let me see this here. So he ran for 49 yards, and Tyrod Taylor ran for 21. So that's 70 yards rushing and 83 yards. So they might have just beat him.
They beat him.
Just beat
everything
just
they
barely.
Did. Their hands and feet.
Just barely.
Just beat.
They're like 150 something, and James had what 148.
Yeah, and you telling me Josh like, show out. I don't care.
Right.
Do your thing. I'm gonna take this one off.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about it. What did Lamar have? Lamar, I'm just looking at it right now. I don't remember how many yards he had passing, but he went 209.
Yep.
2 touchdowns. And rushing, he probably had another 60 or so yards.
I'll tell you right now. He had
70.
Yep, six rushes, 70 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yep. So he went 3 touchdowns and 280 yards. So when that happens, that's when you look and see how good is our pass defense really.
Mm-hmm.
Because in man, we've already seen Christian Benford be exploited. In man, right. and we've already seen Trey White be exploited.
Yep.
But it's the teams that we're playing. They can't pass themselves out of a bad situation.
Not at all. So really quick, let's go through this so that everybody understands what we're talking about, right? Because when you're thinking about teams that can pass the ball, you have to have good quarterback play, but they also have to have somebody to throw to as well. Because realistically, that Saints offense looked pretty good against our defense yesterday, right?
It was functional for sure.
Yeah, and really a few, a couple of accurate passes here and there, namely the one in the end zone there. And this is a completely different game. It's definitely not, for sure. It's not no 31-19.
Yeah.
Right. So next game is the Patriots, right? I think we have to worry about Drake May. He beat us last year. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons. Penix can have a game from time to time.
Kyle Pitts had a touchdown.
Kyle Pitts had a touchdown yesterday.
He saw Kyle Pitts.
Friggin' Drake London had over 100 yards receiving yesterday, right? Penix threw I think it was like a 50-yard pass or almost 60-yard pass to Bijan Robinson for a touchdown. So, and I think Penix came away with that game he had over 300 yards in that game. So Falcons may or may not be a joke. We're playing them on Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They might show up. We're in Atlanta at that point. Panthers, they
can't catch.
Yeah,
they can't catch.
Chiefs, at that point, it's going to be, so this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So week 8, everybody who was suspended will be well and back by then.
Yep.
Rashee Rice will be in that game. You saw what the Chiefs look like with just Xavier Worthy back and healthy.
Yep.
They could pose a really big problem in terms of being able to pass the ball against us, right? So definitely got to worry about the Chiefs. Dolphins, that second game is always a little different.
Yeah, Miami, yeah.
To play it against Miami, it's always a bit tougher, right? Buccaneers, they can throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that last year when we played them. They can throw the ball when they really need to, and they made that game even last year very interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Texans, seeing them against the Titans, I don't even know if I can count on that. You know what I'm saying? Because Stroud had some pretty good numbers yesterday, but again, that was against the Titans, so I'm not counting that one, right? Steelers, what do you think? What do you think about the Steelers so far?
You know what? I'd have to give him more credit than I was because I saw Aaron Rodgers actually not look as old as he is.
Yeah.
Is he great? No. But I think the Steelers are another team that we have to see how the flow is when the game starts, because it could be another one of those games where Josh is going to take his hat off and kind of go through the motions, or it'd be a game where they actually have to game plan. Where they actually have to huddle up.
Yeah.
Because the thing, when you see the Bills in a close game with the Saints, you see the Bills in a close game with the Jets, you look at the sideline, they always show Josh, they always show somebody, they're never together because they're like, hooray, great, because they know they can score, they know it's going to pick up where they left off, and we haven't seen them get to the point where they actually have to pull out all the stops yet. And that's the thing for me when you said the 4-0, and that's why I agree that it doesn't really make, because I was never worried. There was never a point where I was worried like, oh snap, they got us dead to rights. They figured us out. No, they didn't figure us out. We just said, you know what? We're going to leave off this whole hemisphere of the playbook.
Yeah.
We're going to leave off this whole piece. We don't need these things. We're just going to do this because they can't stop it.
Right.
And, the games that you're starting to name now is like, okay, now in my mind, I'm like, we can win them easily. But how much effort do we have to put into it? These last 4 games, minus the Ravens game, we didn't put any effort in those games. The defense should have been tuned up. That should have been where they needed to, step up and show us something. But the offense, whatever.
Right. So I mean, the Steelers, I think will present some challenge. I think it'll probably be similar to what we saw from the Saints, because I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely a better passer. But the Saints also don't have as many weapons as the Steelers don't have as many weapons as the Saints have.
Right.
So, and I mean, for all around, from a running back to tight end to wide receiver, like they don't have as many weapons as the Saints have. So while that might be a tougher game, from the standpoint of, maybe intercepting a pass or stopping the accurate throws, there might not be as many of those because there's not that many people to throw to. It might be an easier game for the Bills defense that day.
Oh, the Falcons they took Jalen Walker. He went to the Falcons. Didn't know that.
In what round?
First. So he wasn't. He did take 2 first round edge rushers. Jalen Walker's a guy to Georgia, 6'2", 250 or so.
Yeah.
Speed rusher. Then they packaged that with James Pierce. They cooking with grease here.
Yeah, that makes sense, because their defense, they have a really good pass rush, but they also have 2 great safeties in Xavier Watson and my guy Bates.
Our guys.
Yeah.
Xavier Watts.
Yeah. So after the Steelers game, we get Jake Browning and the Bengals. I think Jake Browning is probably going to look a little bit better than I don't want to say significantly better, but he's going to look a little bit better than Spencer Rattler with much better weapons to throw to.
Yeah, he's known to just throw the ball. He don't care.
He's a
gunslinger.
Yeah, right. So that could be a good game from the standpoint of entertainment value, but again, at the same time, a very dangerous game for the Bills because you got a gunslinger that is going to let the ball off to some very, very good weapons, right? On top of that, they got a good running back too. So if they can establish a run game, which they will be able to because we're going to let them, this is what we do for everybody, that becomes a very dangerous game, even with a backup quarterback, right? You go to the Patriots after, you go to the Patriots after that. Then you have the Browns. Joe Flacco is not playing well this season. They have almost no pass game.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if they don't, you should do it at some point. I mean,
yeah,
I don't even need to see Dylan Gabriel. I don't care. He's trash. He's bad. He's really bad. So and he's old too. That's really gets. I think that's what really gets on my nerves. The fact that he was in college for 8 years and this is what you get.
Well, was he really in college for 8 years?
Yep. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Oh my gosh. Yo, the way you just very calmly. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, he was.
He was definitely in college
for 8 years.
Dylan Gabriel. God.
All right. So to cap this point, I mean, you kind of see what we're talking about up to this point now. Later on in the season, in terms of the level of competition that they're going to be going against, and how what that means for the defensive ranking of this team. Again, we're not saying 4-0 is bad. I please understand. I'm going to say it again. We're not saying that 4-0 is bad. What we're saying is the style of 4-0 that we have is not going to translate the way that we think it will in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And it is because I had people saying this on Friday. Well, the playoffs and the regular season is two totally different things. It's going to be the same football team.
Well, the thing is, they're right because it gets worse.
Right? Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Significantly worse. Yeah, we pointed that out too. Yeah. The yards per play average went up almost a full point for the Buffalo Bills, as opposed to a team like the Eagles where it went up. I think it was like 0.5, like half a point, not even.
It's a different ball game, and I think that's. To your point, I look at it a little differently because I just like to be different sometimes. But yeah, 4-0, I don't look at it as a bad thing for 4-0.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was talking to my uncle after the UB game. He's like, at least we lost, we didn't lose. And I'm like, but we still got to get six wins to get to the bowl game. Because in college football, nothing else matters but bowl games. I mean, your conference doesn't matter. Nothing matters. You're going to a bowl game if you win six games. And in the NFL, in the NFL, you have to win the 4 games to get to the record to get to the playoffs. But in my mind, like I said before, I didn't learn anything from the 4-0. I learned from week 1 that the other 3 games don't matter because guess what? We were at a deficit of deficits. It was almost a comeback. I actually had in my notes, Laura can tell you, she's fact checks my notes. The game against the Ravens was one of the best comebacks of all time. Mm-hmm. But now you see they can do it. So that's why I say when I say I'm looking at the Jets game, when I'm looking at the Saints game, and I'm saying whatever, if Cooks would whatever, because we never had to see Josh, and that's why we feel like Josh put on the cape. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Right. We've seen that before, and we didn't see that yesterday. He had a run. We've seen it a million times. How many times have you not seen him do that? He did that in the game. We went 9 for 30. He did a run like that, I'm sure. So that's Josh, but. The intricacies, the schemes, the philosophy changes, none of that happens. They just kept doing what they've been doing. James Cook at the middle, break a couple of tackles, first down. We had 20 first downs. James Cook had 9 of them yesterday. Nobody else had to bat an eye. Nobody batted an eye. So it's like, okay. And Nate said Emerson mistaken. He meant Jameis Winston in the bungles.
I was waiting for you to see that. Yeah, that would be some entertaining football, man. See Jameis with those 2 receivers.
Yeah, 600 yards, 6 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
8 interceptions, that's right.
The greatest and worst performance in all
Scored
time.
63 points in that game. But the other team scored 40 points off of his turnovers.
3 pick sixes.
Oh my gosh.
And the band plays on.
Yep. Kev says this defense will be, hold on here. All right, there we go. So Kev says this defense will be completely different by the time they play the Chiefs, hopefully in a better way. I mean, if we're okay. Let me Nate says 89-65. That's right. That's a Jameis Winston game for sure.
Lord is glad. I'm glad he's playing today.
So I was talking to Damaris before the show today, and I think he has this innate awesome ability to categorize things and put them in the perfect phrasing or the perfect placement of words, right? And he talked about the Bills. He talked about the Bills as a threat in the playoffs. And I asked him the question, based on what we're currently seeing in the regular season, what are the things that they can carry over into the postseason, right? And, you know, I already mentioned this earlier on the show. It's the run game and the play of Josh Allen. And then I asked, you know, well, have you ever seen a team win a Super Bowl like this, where they're only elite in one specific way, right? Yeah. And what he said was, it's not even really about the run game or the pass game. If schematically and personnel wise, they don't have enough to win a Super Bowl. He said schematically and personnel wise. Now when he said, and I want to focus more on personnel wise, because schematically we all know what that means, giving up the run, right? Mm-hmm. Personnel wise, he spoke to the mindset of a lot of the players that we have on defense. And we got onto the topic of tackling and how this team year after year after year has been consistently bad in tackling. Yeah. And he said tackling is a mindset. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely a mindset there. And you can't say that guys aren't willing to tackle, but he made this, we thought it was hilarious. Me and Daniel were listening to him. And he said there's I'm gonna make the tackle, and then I forgot how he phrased it. He was like, you know, there's I'm willing to tackle, like for sure I'm willing to tackle, and then there's I'm willing to tackle. You know what I mean? Where you just I'm willing to tackle. I'm kind of willing to get in there, you know. And the idea is, the players that we see get drafted by this team are typically not of the dog nature that we referred to all offseason. When we talked about the blue chippers that Brandon Beane said he wanted to get, when we talked about the dogs that Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane said that they wanted on this team. Being a dog is a mentality first, mm-hmm. right? It is the necessity in a player's mind to be aggressive in whatever way is necessary to get the point across that I'm here on this field and you're gonna have to deal with me for 60 minutes, period. And it's gonna hurt, right? As a defensive player, you have to have that. And when you look at guys like, you know, Taylor Rapp taking the wrong angle against Derrick Henry, that's a decision. That's not, I'm just reading it terribly. Like I'm either not trying to get posterized or I'm not trying to get injured.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's a business decision, like Nate said. It's just in the wrong way. You know, if I make this tackle, I'm taking years off my career. Or if I try to make this tackle, I'm gonna take years off my career. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's like, okay, I gotta be want to hurt this guy. You know, like who was it? Rocky 3, Steve referenced earlier when they asked Mr. T, Clever Lane, mm-hmm. You have any predictions? He's like, predictions. Pain. Like, I don't care. I don't know what's gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna win. I don't know if I'm gonna lose, but somebody will get hurt.
It's gonna hurt.
I'm gonna do it.
That's
how Ryan Clark played. Ryan Clark played like he played like he was 300 pounds.
Yep.
He just threw himself at you. That's why he couldn't play no more.
That's right.
He screwed his head up. But see, the thing is, that's the kind of player that you want. Like Dorian Strong, when he made the tackle on Derrick Henry, chased him down, he clubbed his arm down, said, I'm going. He didn't have to club him. He knew the stiff arm was coming. Right. He knew. He said, I don't care. Try me.
He was like, get that mess out of here. I'm
still taking you down. Yep. The rookie got you. But see, that's the dog that you want. That's the dog that people are talking about.
Guys who want to tackle and guys who want to tackle.
With the little Smurf face.
Right.
Happy to be here. No, right. When the way you said it, I thought about, when you apply for a job, you go to interview and they say, you look great. How you feel about traveling? You willing to travel for the job?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to travel.
Right.
Hell yeah, I'm ready to travel. Let's do this thing. See, that's the difference. Tell me who to hit, coach. Just tell me somebody to hit. We don't get personal fouls for hits. We don't. Cole Bishop is out there laying lumber these days.
Yeah.
I'm like, go ahead, 24.
Taylor Rapp out there personal fouling our own players. Can't stop hitting our own guys.
We not in practice. You're right. I'm used to hitting the guys with the same colors as us. Never mind. But right. Yeah, no, I mean, but those are the dogs you want. You want even Terrell Bernard, as small as he is. Terrell Bernard wants to hit somebody. He's trying. We've seen Cole Bishop now. We've seen Dorian Williams. We've seen Dorian Strong. We've seen Ed Oliver. We've seen these guys that want to get in there and make these business decisions. But we don't have. And this is what I was thinking too. What would stop Bean and McDermott from saying, you know what, every draft he's going to slide because he has some character issues. Let's really delve into what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
Let's really delve into this kid and see if we can't deal with whatever it is.
Yep.
Is it just a product of his surroundings? Is it something we can help with? Is it something we can nurture because we have these mentors, this leadership council? Because I was thinking about while you're talking James Pierce again, guys like that who are doing fine. We've seen guys come into the league, checkered past, did fine. So what's to say we don't put another resource into trying to scout these people, try to talk to these people? How do they really work? How do they tick? Because you looked at Ed Oliver. Y'all got jackets up there. They thought that was the funniest crap imaginable.
Yeah.
Kyrie Elam with his notebook. Oh, that's cute. And then you got Max Harrison dapping everybody up. We didn't know. You knew. That's why you put it on the card. Who's that guy right there? We don't even know. He's dapping everybody up. Him. Let's get him. He's a culture fit. Was that really how it happened? I'm joking slightly, but the thing is, what about the guy that doesn't talk that much? The guy that only knows football. The guy that was good, but he didn't try.
Right.
What if we try to, like you said, squeeze the rest of the juice out of this kid? He's saturated.
Right.
The dividends are monumental if you can tap in, but I just don't think they believe in themselves to do so. Yeah. They keep going with the safe pick because why? Because it makes them look good when it pays off. It pays off.
I think it comes down to this for the conversation about this culture that influences so many of the decisions that this team makes, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what you and I are up against when it comes to our complaints about the team, is everything that the culture is establishing in the building, right? When you think about the culture that we have, and I've kind of landed on this thought as the perfect way to expose the culture, right? There's a big difference between community and a cult. And the line is discrimination. Okay? The line between a cult and a community is discrimination. All right? Now, I'm using the term cult loosely, right? Those of you who read into things, you'll be able to read into this and get where I'm going. The idea of a cult is we believe a certain thing and everybody else outside of this circle of this singular belief is against us. They hate us. They are our enemy. We do not like them. We do not associate with them. We are simply among them, but we are not interacting with them. We are not engaging with them in our personal lives, right? If we got to work with some of these people, we'll work with some of these people. But at the end of the day, when that clock hits four and it's time for me to get out of here and go home, don't talk to me. I don't want nothing to do with you, right? It's it discriminates, right? Community is surrounded around this idea of you're welcome to come and join us. We take people from all walks of life, all different areas, all different ages or age ranges and whatever, creeds, whatever. And we're building a community that's focused on the prosperity of everybody, right? Most communities have that mindset. It takes a cultish mindset to say, I don't want anybody coming onto this team that has had any type of issue with their head coach in the past. I don't want anybody coming onto this team that has had a run-in with the law. I don't want anybody coming onto this team that has had any kind of, beef or scrap with another player on the team. Everybody that comes in here has to line up perfectly with these set of rules and this mindset. And that's what our culture is. And that is, most cults cannot withstand disruption. They purge it because any small disruption runs what? The risk of toppling the whole thing, right? Because usually the disruption is the exposure of whatever the truth is that negates the belief system of that cult, right? So when we're sitting here and we're talking about the decisions that the Bills are making for the sake of this culture that they have, this is not a community. Let's get that straight. The Buffalo Bills locker room is not a community. It's not designed to take in all players from all walks of life with all kinds of problems, and whether they blue chip dog mentality or they're up and coming needs a lot of development like Landon Jackson. No. What the Bills scouts and Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott are saying, and even some of the coaches now are saying, we expect this mentality, we expect this type of player, and if you are not that, you are not Buffalo.
Yeah. I mean, gone are the days where we're concerned about our image because we need to bring fans to the stadium. Gone are the days where we're concerned about our choir boy image, our squeaky boy. We got to comply so that the league will have us. We're a force in this league now, whether or not the city is big, the city's medium-sized, small, however you look at it, boring, entertaining. This team is here to stay.
Yeah,
it's solidified by the stadium that he's built, or our building. I mean, there's no other proof than that. That wasn't built with the thought that we might be here today, going tomorrow. That was built with we're here. That's it. Because we own it. Ghouls own it. Buffalo owns it. It's their stadium.
Yep.
But like you said, that's the difference, and that's where I struggle with fire. Was it Ignis Rita or whatever it is?
Yeah.
That's where I struggle with that, because where I know he won't. If he did, what kind of coach would we have? We would have a hell of a team if he opened his mind up.
Mm-hmm.
If he opened his mind up to, Steve said, George Pickens sure looks good. Does he not?
Yeah.
I said that. And that was Steve. I don't know if you remember, but I said when he was available, when they were dangling his trade, I said, show me something. Go get him, Bean.
That's right.
Go get him. You think he would act like that with Josh Allen? No, because Josh Allen, he going to find that boy.
Mm-hmm.
He going to find that big boy down there. And he going to make plays. He going to make money.
That's right.
But instead, no, let's not take a chance. Let's not. Let's just.
It's a bad seed. You don't want that in your
You don't
locker
want
room.
that, do you, Josh? You don't want that, right? No. Yeah, no. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing that drives me nuts. And that's where I struggle, because I know McDermott's a good coach. I know in my heart of heart, Bean is a good GM. But it's their decisions that they make with the arrogance that they make them.
Exactly.
That turns me off. I can rock with these dudes all day long. I will defend. I will praise them when it's due. But you got to do something to make me praise you. You got to show me something. I'm not going to praise you just because you did something. Yep. What are you doing? Bring another fish. Every regime before that, Mario Williams, Steph Diggs. We had Steph Diggs on this team. Now what? Because guess what? You guys have been here 4 times as long as any coach has been in the last, decade?
Mm-hmm.
One player's not going to do it for me. You drafted Josh. Hooray. Go get Josh. Go get the defensive side. Go get that one blue chipper on that side. Go get you that edge rusher. Go get you that guy that he might not be a desired pass guy. Grab him, hold him, and nurture him. We believe in you, son. 22, 23 years. He may never have heard that before.
Right.
That might be all he needs. Somebody finally gives me a chance. Believe in what I do. I know what I did before. I know what mistakes I've made. But this team believes it. This team is going somewhere. They want me to be a part of this. You think most players won't be like, you know what? I'm going to try to buy into this. No, you ain't hear Big Baller Bean. No, you didn't hear that.
What's wrong with Big Baller Bean?
Because he ain't bald. He ain't bald, and he dormant. But
I mean, 4-0 says different.
But see, my theory flies in the face of that because I say once the season starts, he's pretty much a non-factor.
Yeah.
All he does is work before. But like I said, he's not. Do I know that he's good? I believe he could be good, but he hasn't shown me to say, yeah, he's good. He's straight.
Yeah.
Again, a true family is at least 1 or 2 a-holes, don't they? Those angry uncles. Yeah. Yo, Unc, shut up. Yeah. That's Unc back. He's just drinking, it's all good.
No, you shut up.
Huh?
All right. So look, I mean, I think, huh?
I mean, he said, could Bean build a trade package to Arizona to get Marvin Harris? I don't think he'd want him.
No, I don't think he want him.
No.
I mean, Arizona's gonna fight to get that guy ready. I mean, I think at this point, you can't say that Marvin Harrison doesn't have it. I mean,
can you imagine?
The real issue here is Kyler Murray can't pass from the pocket. That's the real issue. It's
he can't see.
Yeah, right. He can't pass from the pocket.
Can you imagine somewhere in Buffalo right now? There's a guy named McAdory who's got a cheesing grin as we slander Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't even know what he did to the point where this dude just does not like, but he couldn't stand him from the word go. Like it's mostly because of his dad, but Jesus, Mary Jo, this guy is, yeah.
We might be able to get him on the show if we trade for Marvin Harrison. Right. All right, go ahead, Matt. Go. Just go.
He would lean into the camera. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah. I mean, Harrison, like I wrote this down just because I thought about it because it might have been in Discord when they were talking about Harrison. They were talking about he wasn't a can't miss project for me. He was not the number one dude to me. He wasn't that fast. He's big. Mm-hmm. He ran great routes, but in the league, everybody does that. I had neighbors. He was number 1.
Right.
Brian Thomas Jr. was number 2. Well, Dunsey was 3, and then somewhere in there was Marvin Harrison Jr. That's where I had it. But he went number 1, and the rest is history.
Yeah, what a great wide receiver class.
Oh, it was great.
All right, Nathan saying bring Mac back.
You got to find him first.
He ain't got no time, bro. That's the issue. He has no time
at all.
Like you think we busy, like he has no time, none.
L0.
Right. All right. We got to get out of here. Steve says most Super Bowl teams have around 8 blue chip guys, and that's a Polian quote. That's a good point.
What does Polian know? He's only been a GM on Super Bowl winning teams and such.
Of a team that went to 4 straight Super Bowls too.
And only reason we didn't win one of them because the team lost it for themselves.
That's it.
Partying, drinking, stuff I can't say on the show.
What you think they were drinking though?
Things I can't say on the show. But yeah, no, they ruined that. He was Polian was great, and these guys that I think, yeah, oh, y'all want the tailgate tea? Not yet. You can't have it. But yeah, no, I think that these guys are close. But I'm tired of saying close. See, when Bean says keep kicking the door, you can keep kicking the door, but you got to use a different shoe. You can't use the Pumas. You can't use your Vias. You got to use a Timberland. You got to bring in a Wolverine work boot with a steel toe. Because that
not the Wolverine.
Man, that Wolverine work boot is something special. It could be electrical if you want it too. But no, I mean those you got it. You can go at the same. But that's the thing about them that frustrates me. They change the scheme, but keep the same players.
Yeah.
What are we doing? So we're gonna blitz now, but you didn't draft anybody that blitzes. You're gonna try to compress, but you didn't draft a good compression style guy. You want to go ahead. You want to play man. more, but the guy that you got is.
This is what I'm looking at.
I know.
Really?
Hey, as long as number 2 in there, I'm good. Nothing else matters as long as number 2 in there. I'm tickled whenever I see. I mean, when on the broadcast yesterday, when they said, Cook was. Did they even say he's probably? No, I don't think they said the best running back in the league right now. But they say he's one of the best running backs in the league. Man, when I tell you, I smiled. and that. It's just a realization that from day one, like you said about Josh, I saw this thing, and I'll never forget. It was a Miami game. That man, they finally put him in. Singletary, we were blowing him up, put him in off the left side, off to the right. I was like, people shaking me like I'm his dad. So now to see he got paid, now to see people recognizing the greatness that he presents, the division, this and third things I didn't even see.
Right.
It's just like, man, I'm there. He's losing Saints fans' luggage.
What was that? Oh, so okay. So Bodega Cat is saying Philly might get Philly at first. Oh, we are trading for AJ Brown.
No, they're not.
No,
AJ Brown will refuse to come to Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get too far into this stuff because we do got to get out of here. But I'll just say this. Players know the deal. Players can look at the games and see what the Bills are doing and see, what's working and what's not, right? All they got to do is watch the game and see, the offense they running ain't even going to work for me. So why would I want to go there? You know what I'm saying? These are the things that these players look at. Why? Because at the end of the day, not only is it a business for the team, but it's a business for these players. Right. The only difference is they're independent contractors. They have the ability to sign contracts with teams that benefit both parties, not just the team, but the player. So the player is going to be thinking about, if I sign this contract with you and I come there, hey, am I going to get the ball? Why am I concerned about getting the ball? Not because I'm selfish, because that means I'm going to be able to put up what? Numbers, right? And those numbers are going to dictate what? My next contract.
Right.
See, that's the idea. If your boss came to you and said to you, hey, listen, we're getting ready to hire somebody else that does the same job as you, but they don't have as much experience, and we really need you to take a pay cut so that we can hire them. Would you say yes to that? Most people would look at the bills they got to pay and everything that they're responsible for at home, and they would say, hell no. Right. Why would you expect me to do that? But you want these guys to take a pay cut for the team, right? Yeah. As if what? They ain't got bills. The money they make don't matter for their legacy or for the generations that they're trying to support after they quit the game of football. They still got to live their whole life after 30.
Right. Yeah, and Bodega doesn't agree. He thinks it's a bad take. I think, like you just said, your point was exactly right. His first question: how many targets am I getting? Because he's
not going to get much here.
That's the thing. His whole argument there is, I just got one target. I just got 3 targets. In Buffalo, you might get 6.
Right.
But he wants 10 to 12, 10 to 13
per game.
Yep. You're not getting that.
No.
Especially with the way James Cook is running. We're running more than we're passing. We passed 22 times, ran 32 times. Now imagine what happens if you got another running back. They're going to run more. So I don't think. Yeah, you're right. Pickens would be the same way. You're right. But see, when I wanted Pickens, I thought the offense was going to be more of a everybody's, because we didn't have the talent to just take a number one.
Yeah.
But they want everybody to assimilate into this everybody eats thing.
Exactly.
That
is not AJ Brown. AJ Brown would not fit in that style of offense. And I think the main reason why it worked in Philly is because right now he is the best option they have. Devontae Smith is a good receiver, but nobody there is AJ Brown. And for AJ Brown to be the guy in Philly and not getting targets, and then come to Buffalo where he would be one of the guys, not saying that AJ Brown wouldn't come here and be the best receiver, but the Bills don't care about that.
Right.
That's the difference. The Bills don't think of guys as number one receiver, right? So if AJ Brown comes here, he's gonna have to basically take a reduction in consideration as opposed to pay in terms of the metaphor, the analogy that I brought, just said. So for AJ Brown to come here and get the 5 or 6 targets a game, that might only mean he's getting, 50 to 60 yards a game. 5 catches, 50 to 60 yards. That might be all he gets. That's not AJ Brown numbers.
Yeah, see, Bodega said Hurts went 0 for 8 in the second half. AJ Brown can fit any offense. Not saying he can't, but he doesn't want to.
Right.
He's just playing on run heavy teams. Why do you think he wants off a run heavy team?
Exactly.
There's a reason for that. He doesn't want to be in that system anymore. Just like Mario Williams when he left Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be an outside linebacker. I'm a defensive end. I can do it, and I can do it well, but I don't want to.
It doesn't best suit my skill set.
Right. I want to give him numbers. I want to, I can give a team something that you're not allowing me to give you. He has 27 targets in Philadelphia. Our highest right now is 23 with Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the uptick? I mean, where do you see the uptick in we're not run heavy? We're not?
What? I wish I had a button. I could push. None of these buttons are working. This rollcaster needs an update. That's why.
Yeah, no, we're run first almost at this point.
We are well balanced, but not run heavy. Okay, I need you to go. I mean, we gave you the numbers on that. Let's go back and actually watch the tape.
Now, okay, so to be fair, what do you mean run heavy? Okay, so run heavy is what, 70-30 to you, or because we're about 65-35 right now.
That's about as run heavy as you can get in today's NFL.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're about 60 to 70%, 60-65%.
Yeah.
We're talking about this. James Cook is now at he ran 73% of plays last game. James Cook is at 60% of plays for the season. They paid him. He's their bell cow. They're using him until he either gets hurt or until he has no pepper anymore.
Oh, there you go, Spin. Thank you. He says 123 pass attempts and 133 rushing carries overall this season.
So run heavy are the Eagles watching, huh? But yeah, anyway, no, the thing is when you're looking at the way we break this down, the way this team breaks it down, they're not going to give AJ Brown what he wants.
Right.
And that's why he wants out, because he's not going to go to another situation that's something like or somewhat better than. People, I think Kev said Josh Allen can throw the ball. He can, but he isn't doing it now because he sees he doesn't have to.
Right.
And they're not scheming that play. And I don't think Brady's going to change the playbook now. So I think AJ Brown had to come into Buffalo and figure out how to beat Josh Palmer at what Josh Palmer is doing, and nothing exciting.
Right.
But what I don't want you guys to think is that I don't want these kind of players.
Right.
I'm not arguing with you, Bodega, about the player. I'm not arguing with you about saying he's a bad fit.
There's just not enough incentive to come here for those tier players.
Right. He wants to be the focal point.
Yep.
And he's made it known. Everybody talking about Stephon Diggs. What do you think AJ Brown would do? What do you think the reputation of AJ Brown will be after a game or two, maybe 3, once he settles down? That's the thing that gets on me. Allen's choosing to prioritize taking the easy throws versus that's exactly right. That's it, Spin, and stop staying still because you and I can't agree this much. But Kev, no, I know they can't get open, but they do. It's just not vertical. They get open in a horizontal or whatever the case may be.
Let's go through the player stats really quick for you know what? Actually, this might be better. So the leading pass catcher against the Jets was Josh Palmer, 2 catches, 47 yards. AJ Brown ain't going for that.
No,
not at all. Right? Let's get to the Dolphins. The leading pass catcher in that game was Dalton Kincaid, 5 catches, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. AJ Brown will go for that game every once in a while. You got to keep in mind.
That's got to be a baseline.
Right. That's got to be the floor. He's got to be getting that every single game. 5 catches, over 60 yards and a touchdown. For him, that's a 1,000-yard receiving season, and that's probably a 10 to 15 touchdowns. See, that's a good season for a receiver. That's where AJ Brown wants to be. Like, the idea here for AJ Brown is he wants to reestablish himself as one of the best receivers in the NFL. And it's a pride thing, and not pride from a from a negative standpoint, but from the standpoint of I was already considered as one of the best receivers in the NFL, and my numbers are no longer supporting that. So if I'm going to get that back, I've got to find somewhere that's willing to give me an opportunity to get those numbers back. I can still do it, right? But the way that Philly is making me look right now, I'm looking washed in this offense.
You're talking about me.
Right. So let's look at the Saints. The Bills leading receiver. Oh my gosh, come on. The Bills leading receiver in the Saints game was Khalil Shakir. 5 catches, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. Again, that's just the floor for AJ Brown. So
I mean, I'm looking at AJ Brown right now. He's projected to be 119 targets, 60 catches for 642 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he getting 119 targets in Buffalo?
Nowhere.
I just don't see it.
Nowhere.
No,
there's not enough passing targets to go around.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. Like I said, it's all love. Whenever we disagree, just come back and we talk about it, man. For real. I don't want to jump back on that number one wide receiver because I've been beaten off of that. I've been beaten to oblivion on that. I'm not going to win it. It's over with. But he wants to be on the Titans. Yeah, okay. With Cam Ward, who says they're booty cheeks, basically.
Bro, they already have Calvin Ridley. If Calvin Ridley can't get the ball in that offense, AJ Brown not getting the ball in that offense.
Keep it a buck.
Right.
Booty cheeks. Whoa. The rookie said that. They're gonna jack you up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see why he would be happier in Buffalo than he is in Philly. I just don't.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. There is a thank you. What was I gonna say?
A football game.
There's 2 football games today, right? I think there's one going on right now, and then there's another one after that. So I think it's Dolphins Jets playing right now. So we will get out of the way for those games. Thank you very much to everybody that stuck with us this far. Hopefully at this point you drinking some Ree's tea that you ordered online. If you're not in Buffalo, or if you are here, you found your way to one of the stores that it's available at to get you some. But Key, take us away.
Hey man, I mean, it was cool, it was great, it was fun, but I'm thirsty. Is Key Wiser
not doing it?
It didn't do it, man. I went to my mom's house yesterday, and I spent some time with her. I had a good time sitting talking, and she said, "Go get yourself something to drink." I said, "Okay, what do you have?" She said, "Whatever's on the step," because she keeps her stuff on the basement steps.
Oh, she still does that?
Yeah,
that's so funny. That's
so
funny.
I'm like, all right, come on, reach down. Go ahead and grab me something. I said, this first thing is a weird color. I don't want that. I don't know if it's mango juice or whatever. I don't want that. Let me go to the second thing. Topps brand tea. I said, damn it, this ain't no Reed's tea.
They can't replicate it, bro.
I said, Ma, why don't you have a Reed's on this step? If you didn't know already, let me educate you, because it's one part refreshing, one part delicious, 2 parts healthy. That's what I can expect, and that's what you should expect, mother dearest, when you have some in your cup. I don't even drink tea, but I would have at your house last night had you had it. But what are you doing? Get over to Reed's, Delta Sonic. Where else you say you can have it?
Topps.
Topps.
You can get it from Topps. Also the Just Pizza stand for sure at the stadium. So if you're going to the Just Pizza stand at the stadium, we're going to be in a few other stores as well. I will get you all that information as soon as I have it. But as of right now, I do not. So
are they going to sell the case though?
Huh?
Are they going to sell a case of them?
Buy the case or the Solo Dolo.
Oh, wait.
For sure.
All for the Lolo.
Huh?
All for the Lolo at the Sto.
Well, I mean, obviously you can buy them in the case. They're probably going to be individuals on the shelf.
It's going to be next to the Yoo-Hoo.
You pack a bunch of them in in your cart, and you
just
got yourself a case.
You got yourself a case.
Right.
You won't be disappointed.
Probably cheaper if you just order a case online. Just saying.
Put the case in your face.
Straight to your doorstep.
You won't be disappointed regardless of what you do. Just ingest yourself some Reed's tea. Reed's tea. Get on over there. Click the link in the description below. Let them know that PPP sent you.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, I thought you went to music. Of
course, yeah. All right, here we go. If you're hearing that music, that means we got to jump out the window. But again, we are so thankful to everybody that stuck with us to this point. Big announcement, big announcement. Wish I had some working buttons in this joint, but I don't. Daniel Schmidt, one of our viewers, subscribers extraordinaire, has a ton of technical knowledge and has made the fine decision to join the Post Podium Podcast team. He is going to help us reach a whole nother level of enjoyment for all of you. So shout out to Daniel. I think he's still in the other room. I don't know if he left yet or not, but
even if he didn't,
I think I heard him. Yeah, even if he didn't.
There he is.
Hey, all right, yeah. So he will be with us. If not this Friday, he will for sure be with us next Monday, and we're gonna be off and running from there. So I'm looking forward to all of the different things that he's gonna help us to accomplish here. Also, I stated this maybe a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it is official now. Laura is also part of the Post Podium Podcast team. She will be defining her role as soon as she's ready.
She will. No, she yelled at me already, so she can define however she wants to define it. Just tell me what you come up with.
Exactly. It's just you just tell me what you want to do, and I'm fine with all of it.
I thought you were gonna write. You write. There you go.
Right. So with that being said, plenty of opportunities for anybody that wants to join. You don't have to be in the city in order to join. There's plenty of things that we're looking to do online with in a bunch of different areas. So whatever your expertise is, if you're willing to get in with us ground level and dedicate a little bit of time to building this thing up, the goal is to get to a point where everybody is making money. And I mean, what's better than that? You know what I'm saying? So
Laura's been the boss, man. Duh.
Basically. All right. So with that being said, this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I've been your co-host, Aramis.
It's 40 keys. Hit that button, make that thing ring-a-ling-a-ling.
Oh, I forgot to say that. That's right. Well, you need that bell to be on so you can get notifications like what we just said, because that stuff comes out all the time. And if you don't have that bell on, you won't know. Thank you for remembering to say that.
You got
it. But yeah, okay. So that's it for us. Y'all have a great night. Enjoy the game. Peace.